Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome. My name's Chloe. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this makeup look here, and yes, it's green eyeshadow, so of course I've used the Plouise Money Shop palette. I cannot put this palette down. Whenever I know that I want to use green on my eyes, I do always gravitate towards this palette. It is a firm favourite, so I would really recommend it to anybody out there that you know, does want a green eyeshadow palette, because it's just got about every green shade that you need in here, and it does have a bottom tray as well with more sort of browns and limey pukey greens as well. If you would like to see more of me, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter and Instagram under the same handle as my YouTube, which is Chloe KH with 2 E's, but I will pop that in the description box below for you, as well as all of the makeup products I've used on my face that I may not have mentioned in this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hi guys, all nice and zoomed in now. So to start off this bright green full cut crease, I am of course going in with the Plouise the Money Shop palette. It is my favourite green eyeshadow palette. I mean, you know, if you've seen my earlier videos of using green eyeshadow, then I would be using the Melchior single shadows, because I did really like those, the formula of them. But since getting this Plouise Money Shop palette, I mean, there's just so many different shades of green, and then the bottom tray is like lime greens and like browns and golds. It's just such a lovely palette that whenever I think of doing a green eyeshadow look, I just automatically think of it now. So I'm going to start off with this dark shade in the palette called Hollywood. Sorry if my voice is really annoying. I am getting over a cold still, so it's just sort of towards the end of my cold, where I think everything's just coming out and my voice is just really sort of strained. So I'm going to take my teeny little Morphe brush here, just to create the shape. So for a full cut crease, I do like to start quite low down and just really bring it up and out. Usually with like a rounded cut crease, I'll sort of start from here really and just sort of really round it out. But I want quite an elongated shape. So I like to take my time with the shape, you know, dip in, do little bits at a time, just to make sure I've got the shape that I want, because I might go sort of back in with this bit and round out a bit more here, just things like that. And then I am a big fan of doing like a little dip and out. It's quite nice when you do an eyeliner here as well. So I'm not going to go too long here, because, you know, every time I blend the shadow we'll sort of pull it out, as I have like quite a winged out shape. So I'm happy with that for now, so I'm going to take my next brush here, which is my Royal and Langnickel brush. I'm just going to gently blend over the outside edge, just to soften it up a touch when I go in with the next shade. I just find that me softly blending the outside, like if I'd go straight in with a shadow to pack it now, I feel like there'd almost be like a harsh green line, whereas if I fade it a bit, it's sort of, you know, because I do a pack and blend technique, I feel like it's a better blend overall. So I'm going 50% on that shade, 50% around, and I'm sort of doing a pack technique with the shadow, but I am sort of blending it onto that line as well, if that makes sense. And I don't start my shadow all the way at the tip here. I start a little bit above, because then with the excess I can just sort of blend down and continue that blend so it doesn't just stop. And just do the same thing all the way around. And with a full cut crease like this, that's why I tap into my shadow sort of directly above it instead of sort of like this, because the outside bristles are going to help blend. Whereas if you've tapped into it sideways, you've got shadow on this part of the brush, and it's just sort of going to blend too high or too low. I mean, I am cutting the bottom anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it gets below, but I don't want anything to be smudged above. I want the shadow exactly where I want it. Next, I'm taking my slightly fluffier pencil brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to softly blend the outside edge of that onset shade, as I am going in with a slightly brighter, lighter green. I don't want any harsh lines. Okay, I'm going to go in with this bright shade here called Green Screen. And then using the same sort of technique. So I'm just taking my Plouise 198 brush just to fluff over the outside edges, as I'm going to go in with my lightest shade now and sort of pull that out a bit more. And I'm going to take this shade here called Audition. So I'm not being too precise with this one, I am just sort of using it to pull out that green screen shade. Okay, so I can see that I have lost some definition with some of those shades, so I'm just going to go back in and deepen them up a bit. So today is Sunday. Last night we went bowling. It's like a little family bowling night with Jake's family. So we had two lanes, and it was sort of girls and boys, and the winner, well, the sort of top score would win a prize that Jake's mum and dad had bought, and they'd put behind the bar. We didn't know what the prize was, and then it turned out that Jake's sister's partner won bowling, so he won a little trophy. They'd gone to, I think it was the Buttermilk, and they bought a trophy and they engraved it. I think it was like Mecca Bowling Champion or something. And it's just so funny, and it's going to be like a long-standing thing now. So he's going to hold the trophy until the next bowling night when we all get together, and then it will just sort of be like another competition to see if anybody else can win the trophy. So it was a really, really fun night. I mean, usually I am absolutely awful at bowling. I went with Jake just before Christmas and I was horrendous. Last night I had 2 strikes and I had quite a few spares as well, and I actually beat Jake on 1 round, so I was so happy. I can't quite remember the overall results as we played like 3 games, as we'd reserved like 2 hours. But I think I was either first or second out of the girls' team, so I was very happy with that. But yeah, I think that it was mostly the boys that had sort of won. I think it was Christian and then Jake's dad Ian, and then it was either Ben or Jake. So I might have been like 5th or 6th. But it was such a fun night, and then we went back to Jake's parents' house and we ordered a Chinese, and it was quite late by the time that it turned up, because of course a Saturday night is always really busy, isn't it, for takeaways. But we just had sort of drinks and you know, cuddles with the dogs and some food, and Ali G was on the TV that I was sort of in and out like watching it. And yeah, we said goodbye to Jake's cousin Tori, 'cause she's come over from Australia, from Sydney. I think it's Sydney. And she's sort of doing a little trip around Europe. I think she's been here for about 2 weeks now. And she's going to Spain tomorrow to see Jake's nan. Wow. Yeah. Okay guys, I'm going to choose to leave my blend there. I don't want it to get too sort of muddy, so I'm just going to see where I'm at by taking some micellar water and a little Q-tip here. So I dip in one side, I go all the way around, wipe all this, and then I take the dry side and I just sort of go around it, just because I find that if you go too high with micellar water, it just sort of makes your eyeshadow go really funny. So I always go around with the dry edge just to make sure that I've taken all that micellar water residue off, so I can go in with the concealer and sort of perfect it in my shadow and things like that. So I will be right back. Okay guys, crease is cut and I have filled it in and set it with a bit of concealer as well. So I'm going to go back into the Plouise palette and take this shade here called Hard Cash, and I'm going to pop that all over the lid. I love this shade so much. Every time I use it, it just reminds me of Tinkerbell. It's like green fairy dust. I was umming and eyeing what to put here, whether just to sort of leave it as blank and then do like a green eyeliner, or do one of the other shimmers in the palette. But I landed on this shade. I thought I'd just do a nice black wing and then a really fluffy lash. I'm then going to take my Benefit Roller Liner felt tip eyeliner pen in black, and I'm just going to draw a wing. So a trick I like to do with eyeliner is take a makeup wipe, wrap it around my nail and just sort of go like this. So I haven't decided yet whether I want to put any shadow underneath. I know that I want to do an inner corner point just to match up with this wing here on the end, but I'm not too sure whether I want some green eyeshadow underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lash on, do the rest of my face, and then if I do decide that I want to put any eyeshadow underneath my eyes, I will come back and film it. But yeah, I just want to see what it looks like with the rest of my makeup done, as I've got quite a nice like fluffy lash on. Just want to see what it looks like with just a really bright under eye, and decide whether I want shadow. So I will be back if I do decide to do any more to the look. Hey guys, so this is the finished look here. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!